What up, kids? Welcome to Garage 419. I'm Matt from the New York Motor Club, and we are in sunny Palm Beach, Florida. Palm Beach Supercar Weekend, baby. And I am surrounded by loads and loads of precious metals and beautiful ladies. So let's take a walk. Garage 419 exclusive Palm Beach Supercar Weekend. Matt Ferrari here with Jim Glickenhaus, owner of one and only P4 as well as Lola T70 and the Ford GT40 Mark IV, right? What year? Was it 66?
67. That's a car that Mark Donahue and Bruce McLaren drove to 4th place at Le Mans that year.
And now you've got a plate on it, and now it's street legal.
Yeah, that car has 40,000 street miles on it. I've owned it for
awesome.
a long, long time, and I drive it all the time. It's a great car, a real piece of history. The only car made in America, its sister won Le Mans.
Oh, okay.
And it,
identical car?
Yeah, absolutely identical car.
Wow.
And that one was driven by A.J. Foyt and Dan Gurney. And this is the only one that finished Le Mans in 67, finished 4th, that's still running and still operable.
And it's not only running as an operable, it's awesome. It's like gorgeous, and you drive it on the street.
Look, one thing that you learn real early, either you own these cars or they own you. You worry about them or you don't worry about them. The same thing's going to happen.
Now let's talk about the bad boy of bad boy supercars right here, P4. And I mean, most people are, at least on the surface, familiar with this car. But let's just go over the basics one time. Yeah. Enzo based.
Exactly.
What kind of power are we talking about?
660 horsepower.
660, and compared to an Enzo, the weight would be?
About 400 pounds less. It's significantly less than an Enzo.
Is the aerodynamics actually better than an Enzo as well, or is it?
Yeah, it's a little bit more balanced, and it has more downforce.
And from what I've read, the shorter overhangs actually make it more drivable, right?
Exactly. So the thing on a supercar in the street is it's the front overhang that kills you, because you hit the curb, you hit a speed bump, you can't get over it. With this, I've had no trouble driving on the street.
And how many miles do you have on this guy right now?
Oh, about 5,000 probably.
5,000 miles. And that's, I mean, most people, if they even could build something like this, would put 10 miles on it, and that would be it. But the driver right here, that's why I like the guy, the driver. So I see you've gotten some new little additions to the car.
Yeah, what happened is, you know, once we drove it, I learned a bit about it. There were some things in the interior I wanted to change around the switching because I found it was a little easier to use. And the exhaust I wasn't happy with. The original exhaust, they were round and I just didn't quite look.
They look kind of like vents on a boat.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit, yeah.
So we went to Ferrari. We got the drawings for the 2003 Formula 1 car exhaust. And we also raised them a little bit, and it makes it breathe a little better.
Really?
And it also puts more of the exhaust on the wing, which helps with the downforce and trimming it out.
You can actually use the exhaust as downforce?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's cool.
2 ways. One is it acts on the wing.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it backfills the low pressure area made by the cockpit. So you're backfilling. That's why all the Formula 1 cars have the high exhaust.
Well, that's not, I mean, my experience is pretty much limited to street cars, but that's not, it's really something you would never think of, or I would never think of anyway.
And well, the mirrors do that too. The mirrors are actually designed to trim the wake vortice that the car makes. As it goes through the air, it turbulates the air, which creates drag. And those are actually wings and foils that trim that out.
On the stalks of the mirrors, right?
They're
so cool.
They're little wings.
Now I see this is this actually adjustable right here? This way
it lifts up? This goes up at speed, and it puts a lot more downforce on it.
Can it be used as an air brake also, or just as downforce?
The McLaren, I think
the Veyron has the air brake.
The McLaren didn't either. But no, this is only downforce and a spoiler.
How come you chose to leave it raw metal? Just
this is titanium because the exhaust would melt it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, the interesting thing is with the carbon fiber, it's very strong, but heat bothers it. When we drove it when we tested it, we went 200 miles an hour at Saran. We put a lot of track miles on the banking, and we generated so much air force and downforce that it burnt the paint on the edge of the spoiler.
Wow,
it made
really?
like a pinstripe. It was really wild.
That's crazy.
Like really thin
did you do anything to change it afterwards?
No. We just cut the paint.
Oh, so the answer is just don't drive it all day at 200 miles an hour.
Or if you do, you're gonna lose the paint.
Oh, well, it's just paint, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Paint comes in a can. You shake it.
We learned that earlier on Gene's Mini. We spray painted his wheels black.
Well, there you go.
We wouldn't do that on this car. Now the wheels are a very unique touch on this car.
Yeah,
they're one of one.
Yeah, they're
or four of four, you can say.
And we changed the height of them. The Enzo has a little smaller diameter wheel and a little narrower wheel, and the tire. And the thing that I wanted to do was to give it more tire in the front because I didn't like the turn in the Enzo.
Did it understeer a little bit? Or
it understeered
a little
bit. So, so if you really went into a turn, it was harder to get the nose to stick. And when you transition, it was like a little funky. So we put more downforce on the nose, but we put more tire on it, and that helped. And in the back, the bigger tires, you need less traction control. The problem, it's not a problem, but the Enzo is right at the limit of the traction control. So if you get in the rain or there's a little sand on the road, you can start breaking free. This guy has enough tire to kind of hold you in.
And have you actually tested it in the rain? You drive in the rain?
Yeah,
all weather?
I took it to Goodwood to the Festival of Speed. It was
it was pouring the whole time?
Yeah, we went up the hill a lot of times. And
really?
Look, the one thing is you have to realize the Enzo was designed 7 years ago. So the fact that we could take this incredible supercar and tweak it and make it a little better doesn't mean we're geniuses. It means that anybody 7 years later could do these.
I wouldn't go so far as to say anybody, but certainly someone with a dream and the means, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
And a properly placed phone call to Pininfarina, I think might help. Might help as well.
Yeah,
well, thanks so much for being on the show, Jim. Always good to see you and see the car out on the street where it belongs, man. And then next time we'll spend a little bit more time on these guys because I mean, look, this is, to be honest, no less badass than this.
Oh, no, they're all.
I mean, they're all insane. And I seen you driving this in Manhattan.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you're driving a night was 70 years 70.
1966.
66. All right, I don't know my years on vintage race cars. I'm sorry, but driving this around Manhattan, definitely impressive. Jim Glickenhaus, G419.
Thank you.
Oh, this thing is nice. God damn, I have the best job in the world. How many miles you got on this bad boy?
About 5,000.
Yeah.
With like a 35. So.
Oh, cool. So it does get driven.
Yeah, we like to drive.
That's key. I mean, to buy a car like this and have it sit in the garage is the biggest waste of money, waste of time. You know what I mean?
I know.
But it's officially badass.